Hey, Paul Leim here. Hey, how you doing? This is Morning in the Studio with us. We're at Loud Recording Studio in Studio 6, back in the back. We've done a lot of records here, and we've got piano booth here. We've got guitar booths here, which they'll be cutting into this video later on in the day. This is the most recent kit with Yamaha that I've used. It's the Fenix Kit. That they came out with, a wonderful drum kit, Paiste cymbals, but most importantly Vic Firth drumsticks. If you're not using the right weapon, you're not going to win the fight. We got here about an hour early. I always show up an hour early, Ed and I get everything out of the way, especially if it's something I'm producing or co-producing. I get here early. I have an old saying that they printed in Modern Drummer magazine about 30 years ago, which was, if you're not a half hour early, you're late. So, but on something like this, where it's this important, we've got this much work to get done in a day, I'm here an hour early. We get drum sounds for the first half hour, and the next half hour, he pulls up sounds. He's about to pull up sounds on Pat Buchanan. We have Pat Buchanan we're going to show you in a minute here. Pat Buchanan is over here. He was with Hall & Oates. And gosh, an R&B group from the R&B group from the 70s. Pat, what was the R&B group you were with in the 70s?
Cameo.
Cameo. He was with Cameo.
Yeah.
They would see him on stage and they'd come up and say, "You ain't no Cameo." Pat,
I'm afraid it's all on YouTube.
Pat Buchanan, great guitar player.
Really loud.
Guitar player of the year, multiple times in Nashville, in the readers poll and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, we got a top band today.
We might get a little rattle.
He is set up in here, and we'll have acoustic guitar right in here. In the room, he's isolated again. His amplifiers are over in another room, completely separate in another room.
That's why I can play loud.
And he's playing really loud, so it sounds really good.
Yeah.
But again, with isolation being one of the key things we try to accomplish here. So if you'll turn around and look that way is the piano room, and piano player will be over there, once again isolated. So anyway, another welcome to my world type thing. This is the piano room, and we've got the Leslie in here. Once again, it'll be isolated. You can see the organ is right there in the main room, but the Leslie is isolated in here because the keyboard player will either be playing organ or piano, not both at the same time today. Sometimes we have two keyboard players. And then here's a Wurlitzer, an old style Wurlitzer if we want that sound. An old Wurlitzer along with an old vintage Fender amplifier. It looks like maybe a 65, 66 Fender amplifier. Everybody likes the old stuff.
Yes,
so if you guys want to come back around here, you can see this board from back
Why
here.
don't you play, I got a line on you.
So I'll go with that 30 years.
So there's Pat Buchanan again. You just met Pat out front, and here he is inside. This is an SSL board, a solid state Logic. They don't make them anymore. It's a vintage board, but they sound incredible.
Yeah, good noises.
And briefly, right here, this guy right here, I don't know how many of you have read my bios and stuff like that, but when I was 15 years old, we were doing a Summer in the Park concert at Bergfeld Park in Tyler, Texas, and this producer walks up to me, and who had produced ZZ Top and had produced John Fred and the Playboys, Judy in Disguise. He walks up to me, I'm 15, he walks up to me and he says, "Hey kid, come here." We're walking off stage. He said, "You got a metronome in your head, how would you like to play in the studio?" And I said, "I want to play anywhere I can play." And he said, "Well, you know, you want to be a studio musician then?" And I said, What do you mean? He said, you know, the Mamas and the Papas and the Fifth Dimension, they don't play on their own records. They have studio people. I said, really? And this is the guy that got me in the studio for the next 40 years. This is the guy that got...
I'm the guy that got him in the recording business, and he's never forgiven me for it.
This is Robin Hood. That's his name, Robin Hood Bryans. And I'm very proud that we still work together, and he's in town from Tyler, Texas, our hometown, and still his hometown. And he's here doing a session with he and a buddy of his, Judd Chapin, that writes songs, and we're here doing a demo session on their songs to pitch them to record labels for major artists. And so we're very proud to have Robin in town. And
I'm proud to have this bunch of guys on our demo.
We got a great band today. We've got the best studio musicians in Nashville on this session today. We're going to be going hot and hard to get all this stuff done because they are they're going to sound like records, but we won't spend quite the time on this like we would on a Kenny Chesney record or a Carrie Underwood record. We're going to be going real fast and hard today, part of which you'll see and part of which will be cut out. But anyway,
there you go.
Here we go.